You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Ian Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for the real world San Diego. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest real world San Diego news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for the real world San Diego.
To see who you are and how you come off at times when you may not realize that you come off that way.
You're very self-critical when you're watching.
Yeah, extremely self-critical.
You don't give yourself enough credit.
I get anxiety.
I get myself all the credit. Like, yeah, dog.
He's like, I got that chick.
You hit that, yeah.
No, not that.
Anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, we're all our own biggest critics, I think. So watching the episode, I'm definitely very critical of myself. And at the same time, you know, you do recognize good things you do too. You're like, oh, wow, I did that. I said that. I couldn't remember. So it's good and bad.
For sure.
All right. Well, let's start our episode off talking about Nate. Kind of saw a deeper side of Nate this episode, huh, guys?
Yeah, him crying.
Yeah.
I was wondering what it was going to be when we seen the previews from last week. I'm like, what the hell could he be crying about? And suicide is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to me, I don't know. We're going to have to get him on the show because
I didn't understand it.
I didn't get it.
Because he's like, he never had a chance to see his granddad grow up. Well, I didn't either.
Well, first of all, how much of a factor do we think the alcohol was playing in this?
I mean, I don't know. Probably a lot, but it's just like, I still don't understand what he meant by it. Like, he's crying because they committed suicide, or he didn't.
In that moment where we see him cry, he was really sad because he was there watching the fireworks and he'd had, you know, a really great day. And he felt bad that, you know, some of his friends and family weren't there to witness something so spectacular with us.
Yeah, I think when you're having such a great time, you want to share it with the people you love the most. But
so regardless of whether or not he knew them, I think that's where he was coming from, was just feeling bad that they weren't around to see something like that anymore.
Yeah, it just seemed kind of out of the blue watching it.
Yeah. And when you first meet Nate, you notice that he has this attitude where he's like, I don't give a damn. I don't care about anything. And he's really just, you know, down for whatever and happy all the time. And sometimes it was kind of inexplicable. And we figured there must be a reason behind this, why he just kind of lives his life on the edge all the time and doesn't really worry about anything. And we realize it's because, you know, people in his family have been through so much. And And,
how many suicides did you say? 4?
4.
5.
4.
I thought it was
4,
5.
wasn't it? I can't remember exactly how many, but
I wrote them down somewhere.
One of his boys. One of his boys is
one
recently.
of his best friends. Yeah,
One of his best friends.
Great uncle.
Yeah. 2 great uncles, I think.
No, 3 great uncles and then great grandfather.
And then one of his friends
Yeah.
is the 5th. Yeah.
Well, so but here's my question is, I don't want to put it out there or anything, but
But you're gonna put it out there.
I wonder if he himself has had these thoughts about himself committing suicide. You know, it surrounds you so much in your family. Do you and you're sitting here saying that you saw these moments of him being quiet and having these mood swings. Do you ever think, or maybe we'll touch upon that deeper in the season, but I mean, that's what first comes into my mind, is that, because to me, I've never met any of my great uncles or my great grandfathers. So to me, if that was to happen, it is a tough situation. The friend would probably affect me the most, but I don't know. Am I out of?
Yeah, that's why I wasn't understanding. I was like, what?
I don't know exactly, if he's ever contemplated suicide, but I do see that he's deeply hurt by something, and it may be, his best friend's suicide is the one that affected him the most. If I'm talking to him, I think that is the case. But I can definitely tell that he's really hurt,
Right.
And that's obvious not only from, this one time where, he told us a story, but also just in that, he drinks a lot, and it does sometimes seem like he's trying to cover something up, which is the fact that he's really hurt.
Yeah, I think it's hard because I had a really close friend who committed suicide this summer, and kind of the way that our group of friends dealt with it, it went both ways. Some people got extremely depressed and were contemplating it and were thinking about it, and it was really hard for them. And other people realized what a gap it leaves and how much it can affect the lives that remain, and it makes them not even think they don't think it is even an option, So I think you can kind of go either way. He could be the kind of guy who could look at how it's affected him and not ever want to put anybody in that position, or he could think, wow, he could be so down on himself and so down on his family that he could have dark thoughts like that too.
Yeah, and I feel like that kind of happens in any tragic situation. Yeah. You can either come out of it feeling, really down, or you can come out of it and make something positive, and be grateful for, what you do have and try to teach people lessons so that they don't go through the same things.
So overall, I feel like he does have that positive sort of vibe. Do you feel like the same way, or?
I think that he definitely... The strongest thing I think he has is his story, and that he is able to communicate things in a way that makes people happy, makes people laugh. As you can see watching the show, he's hilarious, So I think that, and what I hope he does do is travel around and tell people his story and motivate in that way in person.
I want one of those watches.
I've got one of those watches.
Oh, really?
I don't have a watch. I've been asking for so long.
Yep, I got a red one, white face. It's sick.
How'd you get one?
My friend worked for them and gave me one.
Ah, right on. A red one.
Yeah.
Let me get a blue one.
And I had a white face and a black face and a red band, and I used to have a green band. You could just change them all out on whatever day you're feeling like it.
And it's all for the whole suicide prevention? Is that what it's for?
The Flex watches are, I think they say it's 10 different charities that they donate 10% of the profits from the sale of the watches to. And I don't know if Nate's has been incorporated into that yet, but I know that when you probably got it, it was for some charity. I think each color represents a different charity.
Yeah.
And
I should have had a pink one for breast cancer month.
Yeah, red was definitely, I think it was AIDS. Different things are different.
Well, speaking of pink, Nate actually went with Frank
Nate's face
this
is
episode.
pink all the time.
Red, pink.
Has he explained that? Because we're always curious as to
No, Nate is pink all the time, from waking up to going to bed. He's pink. It's not sunburn. It's just his.
I asked him that too when I first met him.
It's one of the first questions I asked you when I saw you. I was like, okay, what's the deal with his face?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
and as he drinks, he gets pinker and pinker and pinker until he's just like a red hot. Yeah, that's the combination of alcohol and sunburn and his natural pink tone.
He was like, yo, can I buy you a drink? He's like, I'm not gay. Like, dude, take the drink.
That was a classic line. You take the drink and you politely say, thank you very much, I'm not gay.
If anything, if I were a straight man, I would love to go to a gay bar to get free drinks.
No.
Is that?
We were like, nah.
Does that answer the question? Do you want a drink? I'm not gay. Right. I'm pretty sure yes or no was what he was looking for.
What if he was like, me either? I was just asking if you wanted a damn drink.
The guy's like, I wasn't asking if you were gay. He's like, I'm not gay.
That's funny.
Well, so, he went to the gay bar. What do you guys think as far as, I mean, we see in the tension of the house, Zach kind of felt that nobody supported him, and we saw.
Zach?
Well, let's get this.
Frank.
I'm sorry. Right? I get the two of their names messed up.
I do the same thing
different.
actually. Sometimes
they're so different.
And Nate too. All those. It's like,
I know
like
Nate.
calling me Leroy.
Right.
Yo, Leroy.
The Frank, Zach, the K. I feel you.
So let's kind of go into Frank's situation because Alex, you befriended Frank first, and really wanted to get to know who he was. What was it that you saw about Frank's personality that really drew you to him?
Well, I mean, I could tell from the beginning that although Frank overreacts about a lot of things and he doesn't necessarily handle his conflicts, in the right way, he is very...
Oh, so breaking stuff ain't the right way to do things?
Nope.
Oh, really? Oh, damn.
He's really open and honest about his feelings, And I could tell from the get-go, too, he was going through a lot of pain because one of our first conversations was about his parents and about an ex who really hurt him. So I just wanted to make sure that I was there for him to talk to at any time, because I noticed that when he had nobody to talk to, that's when he would explode. Like when you see him breaking the vases, that's because nobody in the house was talking to him at that point in time.
Yeah.
And I'd had a couple conversations with him, but that's not enough, So I just tried to kind of be there so that he felt like he wasn't alone in the situation. And I do respect the fact that he's very real about his emotions. I do not think he handles it well. And of everyone in the house, I definitely scolded him the most, even though I was his closest friend.
That's gotta be hard though, because it's like you've got to know at the same time it's not your responsibility. It's not like you're his babysitter, as his mom. But where is the line, kind of helping him and feeling like you're almost getting abused?
Mm-hmm. I don't even know. I know just in history, when it comes to my friends, I'm kind of the person people come to for advice. So I've done that my whole life, and so I didn't mind at all. I loved talking to him. I loved that he felt comfortable kind of telling me everything. Beavis and Butthead.
He's like, what is this? Some Detroit? I remember seeing that as we was watching the episode. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
People who are listening right now and not watching, they're like, what the hell just happened?
For everyone listening,
we got distracted by Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, on the screen.
Back to a more serious subject.
But yeah, I think that, he and I are very different and we handle things very differently, but at the same time, we can relate in that we're both very open about our emotions.
Well, with the situation that happened with him, Nate, and Zach, there was a point where, and it could be editing, as we found out, editing kind of played with you this episode, where they kind of went to a shot of you saying, you know what, like Frank was cool, but this is too much, I'm done. Did you really feel that way, or was there a part of you that really saw this and was like, you know what, because our dear Kevin Undergaro, who used to host The Real World last year season with me, we were sitting there talking about Frank, and one of the things that popped up with us was he actually said he kind of understands, even though the way Frank handled the situation, he kind of understands that, you bugged out, Nate, that I had a guy in the room, but now I'm walking in the room and you have a female in here, and that's just supposed to be okay.
And there was, a double standard in the house when it came to that. It was all right for, the dudes to hook up with anyone, anywhere, for the dudes to get into graphic detail about their hookups and exactly what they did,
Right.
But if Frank even, kissed a guy, people would get offended. So
I feel like people weren't offended, though, if Sam kissed a girl.
They weren't.
So I think it was a lot of that to do with the fact that Frank wasn't as sure of his sexuality. Do you think that might be why some people were less comfortable with it?
I don't think that anyone in the house was uncomfortable because he said he was bi. I just think that there were some people in the house who were uncomfortable with the fact that he hooked up with guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then also bringing to that, because I'll put this on me as well. I don't want to put anyone else out there, but I don't know. Like, I have an issue with Zach going around and being this big homophobe. Now, I have no issues with the guy wanting to keep up with his face, to whatever the thing is with the pedicures and whatever. I have no issues with that. But when you're going around shaving your legs, doing these facial masks, and then hating on a gay person and making comments like that, I don't know, like, to me,
I mean,
seeing nobody kind of stand up in that sense.
I don't think that, lots of male athletes shave their legs. And yeah, he likes to take care of his face. I don't think that those things are a reason to be like, so then why do you not like gay guys? I think the problem is not that he is a guy who likes to stay pretty and is homophobic. I think it's just that he, isn't all right with, you know, men being with men. And I don't think he necessarily needs to be gung-ho about it and be like, yeah, I think it's great that Frank hooks up with dudes. I don't think he needs to be enthusiastic. But I think that in this year, you know, in our generation, you got to at least be tolerant of that stuff and not say stupid, ignorant stuff about it.
Especially if it's your roommate, I feel like you at least have to find a way to sort of respect them.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I think they were always just mad because how he hooked up with the guys in the shower and the jacuzzi. But then again, if it was a girl,
they made some statements about, you know, just the fact that he hooked up with guys.
Right, you're right. It is a double standard because, like, if somebody else would have hooked up with a girl, well, we seen Nate hook up with a girl in the jacuzzi, nobody said nothing. But I think it's gonna be like that forever. Like, I don't think that's ever gonna change.
Yeah, but even if Nate had screwed a girl in the shower and left a condom in there, people would have still been grossed out by that. You know?
Right
like,
on.
Like, even if it was a girl, there's a condom in the shower that's
that was gross.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
just
that
gross
was disgusting regardless.
What do you mean, though? You think it's never going to change? You mean, like, in a million years, whatever, you just think it's always going to be like that, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I feel like people are always going to look at it like, you know, guy on guy is way worse than, you know, girl with girl.
And I think a lot of that just is the media and the fact that, you know, on TV, it is kind of hot for a girl to kiss a girl. And we're taught.
Let's get into that.
Well, no,
tell us how you feel about
aren't we taught that? You know, you see the reactions of people. It's always, ooh, two girls kissing. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You're not taught and we're not shown that two guys kissing is one, normal, and two, hot.
Well, the two girls kissing, though, it
depends on what kind of girls
are
kissing.
I was going to say, it's not
Depends on if Leroy finds them hot.
No, I'm serious. So I was just going to say, it's not like Sam kissing another girl. That's not the kind of like, oh, that's sexy kind of thing. It's like if you're two straight-looking girls
right, like
each
Ashley
other.
and Priscilla, if they started making out, or all three of y'all started, or if y'all just started kissing right now. Okay.
All right, AfterBuzz exclusive. Okay.
I mean, so, and then as far, what do you guys think as far as Frank with these therapy sessions? Obviously, it's good that he's talking to somebody. You know, a lot of the situations that I have friends who have therapists themselves, they say that they would rather have somebody that's more of a friend than actually go and see a therapist. But with this situation, I kind of feel like he really needs an alpha brain.
Yeah, it's definitely necessary.
I mean, I know that he respects the therapist, and I appreciate that, and I think that it is doing some good. But I think that filming a therapy session completely eliminates the point of a therapy session.
Absolutely.
I would never say the things I say to my therapist on camera. Ever. That's supposed to be like your little private time.
Yeah.
How can you really
he's
get anything
an open
done?
book though with it.
Yeah, and I definitely think Frank is very
Really?
open. He doesn't hold anything back. So being on camera, being off camera, I don't think that really changes the things that he says or how he says them. Clearly, if he was willing to break all those vases and run around in his tidy whities and cry, you know, I think he was willing to go to therapy and be honest.
Well, so Alex, did you see a change in him after these therapy lessons, or did you?
I mean, I definitely think that over time Frank learned to handle his frustration better, and he's still learning, you know. It's not like you can change overnight. I think that he wants to change. I think that therapy is one of the first steps in doing that, and I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. I think that it's perfectly okay to go to a therapist when you feel like maybe talking to your friends or talking to your family or being by yourself isn't solving your problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so to add to that, actually, I want your opinion on this too, Leroy. We see a lot of times with the real world, there's someone in there who has such an attitude or, you know, really acts crazy and people want them out the house. And it almost got to a point with Frank where people are like, this dude can't be in the house. So him going to the therapy sessions for you guys, was that like, okay, he's taking the step in the right direction? If he was to act out, it's almost like, okay, well, at least he's still going in the right direction. You know, he's having these little slip-ups here and there. Is that where you guys' head were at?
For me, it would be determined.
Leroy, I want you to speak about your situation with Adam. If Adam was to say, you know what, you're right, I want to go see a therapist. If he was to continue to, you know, have little slip-ups within the club, but he was still going to see a therapist, would that have changed your opinion?
It depends if the producers made him go. You know what I mean? If he like came out and said like, yeah, we like you need to see a therapist, and he wants to do it, but if the producer's like, yo, you need to see a therapist because, you know, or unless you got to go home, then it's just like, I mean, seeing a therapist sometimes, if you're being forced to do it, is like going to jail. You're gonna do the time, and you're just doing it because you have to be there. You'll tell people what they want to hear, just to get out of there or whatever. So it just depends on how genuine it is, and if he knows that he gets so upset when he gets drunk and he gets violent or whatever when he gets drunk. If he's still drinking, then I would like send him home. Like I have zero tolerance for any of that. So like with my thing with Adam, I wasn't buying it. I was like, man, you haven't been, everybody has a story. Everybody's done, he has suicide stuff. Adam was dealing with drugs, whatever the case may be. Everybody has a story. So it's like, you can't help nobody that don't want to help themselves.
Yeah.
What do you think would have happened if it were you in Nate's shoes during Frank's breakdown?
You mean when he was throwing vases and stuff?
No, Leroy don't react like that.
I would have tripped. I'd be like, man, what were you doing? And he probably would have did the same thing, pushed me how he did. Nate, and I'd have been mad about it, and like whatever. But I see I just got zero tolerance for it. I hate it. Like watching Frank do that, I was like, this is ridiculous, and nobody's really saying nothing. And everybody goes to where he was like, oh, I'm at the hotel, and I want you guys to come see me. I'd be like, man, forget that.
Yeah,
go home. I mean, I look at it like I'm only gonna know you for 3 months, bro. So you can, what to say? Beat it.
I think how we looked at it was that
beat it, nerd.
Frank had never been in a situation that made him this uncomfortable. So we felt like, if anything, although he made us uncomfortable sometimes, we kind of wanted him to fight through it because we felt like he had more to learn and more to grow than even the rest of us.
Yeah.
My thing is, like, I look at it like this. There's so many kids. Like today there was a casting call. There's so many people that want to be on the show, and you're gonna waste your time breaking stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's a blessing to be able to make it through all these people, and you get on there and you be so ungrateful to break stuff and just act a fool. Like it's supposed to be fun, like the way you think it should be. You drink or whatever, you have a good time. Not all this drama and oh, I'm going through this, but that's what it's like on the show. With me, I wanted to chill. That was it.
Well, I actually kind of disagree with you, Leroy.
Explain.
With Adam, yes, I don't want to see that type of drama because you don't even want to help yourself. With me, I feel, and that you correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like there really is something deep inside Frank wrong with him. And the fact that he's willing to put that on TV, I'm sure there are other people out there who see this and say, you know what, I don't act out like that, but there are things within me that it's kind of brave for him to put that all out there. And only if he fully goes through with this and we see an arc in his character. I mean, if he just, like you said, is doing this just because the producer said, hey, if you want to stay on longer, you got to go to therapy lessons. But if he's actually taking the steps to fight through this, and the fact that we've seen Alex, and I'm pretty sure you still hang out with him to this day, being his friend and seeing people come together and working through these types of issues, which are issues that we're dealing with today. I understand why MTV has this. They're always looking to be innovative, and this is a great way for them to get that message out. So for me, I'm willing to accept this drama if it's going to help other people out by putting it out there.
Yeah, and that's what the show's about, It's, about chilling, having a good time, 7 people partying, but it's also about 7 people who wouldn't normally be around each other, being around each other, learning from each other, growing because of the experience, and, being uncomfortable sometimes. And it really is the uncomfortable stuff that forces us to grow sometimes, So I think that, and I think as far as Frank's story goes, I don't think that he reacts in these situations in the right way. I don't think breaking things or yelling or anything is ever the right way to react about anything. But I do think that a lot of his story is relatable in that, like his parents kicked him out of the house for being gay and stuff like that. And I think a lot of kids will see that and recognize and feel that turmoil, although they may not relate on that high level of turmoil. They're going to find someplace in the middle and be like, I kind of, I'm not the only one who feels so much pain over, issues like that.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like even if the producers had made him go, even if they were forcing him, it's kind of, if you're still going to do that, because there is a choice still. It's saying either do this or leave.
Right.
And so if you choose to do that, it doesn't seem like he's going to therapy and sitting silently being like, well, I just have to be here, so I don't want to do this, but I have to sit here. It seems like he's really being receptive, so I don't know if that changes your mind at all about depending on whether the producers made him go or not.
Me, I'm so insensitive with anything. I'm like, send him home. Like, even after that, I'm like, man, send him home. Even after he did the therapy, I'm like, listen, bro, because I know as soon as you start drinking again, you're going to do it again. So once you told me your story, you done let it all out. and you done went through some, like, hey man, I'm sorry, we're gonna try to help you. Then you go do it again, and it's just like again and again and again. I can't take so much.
Yeah, it's not like 1 strike, 2 strike. It's like this is his 8th strike or something.
Right. So I was like, I'd be done with it.
That we've seen on TV.
And we all have different personalities. We all can take different amounts of this sort of drama. I think Zach probably felt the same way you did.
Right.
I'm one of those people who's kind of like, you know what, I want everyone to be happy and get what they could get out of this. So I'm really tolerant, and sometimes too tolerant of uncomfortable situations.
So I'm saying it's almost abusive to you.
It just really depends on the person, So where you're coming from is totally legit. I think where I'm coming from is fine.
I just let them go because
depends.
I feel like there's other people out there like you that'll help them. So I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
It's like if there are people who want to be there so bad, it's disrespectful to go on the show and make a mockery of it.
Right, but I mean, if I'm just saying, forget him, I'm like, there's somebody else out there that cares enough to keep, going in behind him. For me, it's like my biological mom is a alcoholic, acts a fool, and I don't put up with her, so I'm definitely not about to put up with some dude off the street doing nothing. So that's why I don't buy it. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully that he has changed. Hopefully him watching the show, he learned a lot from it. But if he didn't, it's kind of like, I'm not going to lose no sleep over it.
Yeah, because who knows even if you giving him the attention would actually even help at all.
Exactly.
It's like you don't want to put all that time and energy into something if you don't even know it's going to go somewhere. But at the same time, I kind of feel you too. Like I'm not somebody who just let somebody walk away. I want everybody to try and make the most of it. But I totally see both sides. It's hard.
Right on.
Yeah, and some people can't be changed. And at the end of the day, you got to kind of just recognize and make a decision. I know for me, it's, I hope that things are going better for Frank, and as far as I've seen, they really are. And I can't really ask for anything more than that.
All right. Well, let's take our special segment. We're gonna bring it. We're gonna skip a commercial this episode. This will be a little AfterBuzz. So for our special segment, it's all about you, Alexandra. Ooh. So we saw this episode. Your boyfriend came to town. Mm-hmm. What was that like for you? Like, what were you feeling? You got to have somebody in the house, of course, the most important person to you. Uh-huh. What were your inner thoughts?
I was really, really excited for my boyfriend to come because I hadn't seen him in a while, and I spent, every day with him before the show. We worked together, lived together. We did everything together.
You worked together?
That sounds fun.
We worked on music together. It's great. Being with someone that much is great. At the same time, too, it's great to have some time apart. But I was just really excited to see him. I really, really missed him. And it was tough, though, for him because he didn't really sign up for the show. He didn't sign up to be on TV. He didn't sign up to be on camera. So he felt really, really uncomfortable, even holding my hand on camera, cuddling with me, sleeping next to me, stuff like that. And even speaking sometimes. He was really shy around the cameras. So I think a lot of the time I misinterpreted his discomfort with the situation for him not wanting to be close to me because at home he's always on me, always holding me, always kissing me. So I was like, what's wrong? Do you not care about me anymore because you don't want to touch me? But I learned, long after this process that, it was just the fact that he felt really uncomfortable in the situation. And in some ways with the roommates, because a lot of them were good with him, but his introduction to Frank was the phone call where Frank goes, "I love your girl," and then
oh my God.
and then Frank yelling at him and telling him he's not part of this. So he did feel really kind of like he wasn't a part of it, and it caused him to hold back a lot.
Wait, can we talk about that phone call for a second?
Yeah.
So watching that here, I was like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. You were so calm about that. I would have turned to him and been like, dude,
can't talk to him like that.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Was Byron?
By the way, I love your old lady.
Yeah. Was Byron pissed about that? He seemed so chill.
He was so calm. Byron is...
what the hell?
Byron
you found like a Superman here.
He's amazing. He's amazing. And I even, feel kind of bad about the way I treated him in this episode because I was being naggy because I didn't understand where he was coming from. All I was thinking about was where I was coming from, which is that I really missed him. And my favorite thing ever is holding hands.
I didn't know where neither one of y'all was coming from.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was silly.
Someone else will deal with that.
It was all really silly, but he did handle the situation very calm. He said that even when Frank was yelling at him, he wanted to get up and say something, but he held back, and I'm proud of him for that and for even being willing to go through this, to be on camera when he hates being on camera.
Right, I could tell that looking at the show and meeting people while I'm actually filming and seeing how they change up, I could tell that he was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I know that because I'm watching it. I done did the experience. While you're doing it, you don't understand.
You don't realize.
Right.
Yeah. So in the process, I was just like, my boyfriend doesn't want to be close to me right now. This is really weird.
Yeah.
Don't you miss me? So I got upset, and then later on, he told me it was all the cameras, and I should have known. But in a relationship, sometimes you get really caught up in your own head, and you do get selfish, and you do think only for yourself. So
and you were way more
that was
used
what
to
I was
it.
doing. Yeah.
I feel you. Was he supportive of you signing up, did you feel like? Or was there a discussion about it before? Or once you were in, was he accepting of it? Or what was that like?
He was really supportive of me doing this because he knew, like I started college when I was 15. And I never really had like the college experience or got to know a lot of different people and make, friends from various backgrounds like this. And I was really excited about just having that experience and being around people my own age and having a good time. And he was really supportive of that because he knew how much, like, despite everything I've done in my life and all the accomplishments I just never felt like I had that college experience. And that was something I really wanted. So.
And did this do that for you?
It's really funny because I went in thinking I'm gonna party so much, I might even meet a guy cuter than my boyfriend and leave my man. Like I really did. I thought that maybe that would happen.
Whoa, there.
I thought that I know
high hopes.
I did. You never know if they throw someone hot in the house. You don't know what's gonna happen, and we're young, so your mind can change any day.
And Frank was hoping to be that boy, but
not
Frank really didn't want to be that guy.
But I thought going in it was going to be just like a wild time for me, and I learned very quickly I'm not really the club type. I'm not the type who would cheat on my boyfriend.
That's not what is fun for you.
That's not fun for me, and I thought maybe it would be because that was my definition of fun. I wanted to live and have fun the way I thought other people had fun, and I learned very quickly that that's not me, and I had to do things that were fun to me, like music.
It's very valuable
hiking.
to know that about yourself, though. So it's not like in 10 years you're gonna look back and be like, "Damn, I feel like I never really did all that fun stuff." Now that's not
what's fun to me. Yeah, I mean, I like going out, I like dancing, but just partying hard and like hooking up and stuff, that's not entertaining to me. It's fine. Yeah, my friends want to do it.
Boring.
Oh yeah, you love it.
No, I don't.
That whole drinking thing, not for me.
While I was in Vegas, I did. Now, no.
Yeah, it wears off really. It
wears off. I was waiting for the wig.
It took 1 week. It took 1 week of me going out regularly to be like, I'm tired, guys.
Well, so Alex,
stay home.
I want to talk about your music, but before we do, we want to get some fan questions in, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
All right, so our first caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where are you from?
Hey, DJ Jesse. It's Jennifer from Houston.
What up, Jennifer?
Hi, Jennifer.
So loyal, Jennifer.
What's up, boo?
I'm very loyal. Hi, Leroy. How are you?
I'm good.
All right,
Great. Well,
you said that like you're infatuated with Leroy.
Jennifer loves
infatuated
She calls every week. She loves Leroy.
But she's actually calling in. Jen, you have a question for Alex?
Yes, I have a question for Alex. Alex, I love holding hands with guys too, but like, why are you making like such a huge deal out of it? Like for us as viewers, it looked like that was all you cared about.
I know it does seem silly, but for me, it was that I hadn't seen him in so long, and normally at home we're really, really affectionate and touchy-feely. So I just didn't get why. I thought maybe something had changed in our relationship, and that it wasn't just about just the fact that it was holding hands, but I thought he didn't want to be close to me in general. And like all day, he didn't want to sit next to me, he didn't want to lay down next to me, then he didn't want to hold my hand. It was just kind of like the icing on the cake in that situation. And it does seem silly, but you got to take it for like what I was used to versus the way he was acting then was very different. So it freaked me out.
Alex.
Oh yeah, well I'd be sad too if Leroy didn't hold my hand.
Girl, I hold your hand any day.
I will say though, as we were watching the whole time, you were like, "Oh, that seems so stupid. I feel so silly." So it's not like you're sitting there thinking and standing by that, like, "Oh, damn him."
It's not like I'm like, "Wow, I was so right." No, I don't think I was necessarily right in that, and I overreacted. I think that it would have been fair of me to be like, "What's going on?" I should have just been like, "Hey, something different. Why aren't you holding my hand?"
And if you said no, just take it at face value.
But then what was hard too was when I asked him why he wasn't, he wouldn't say anything. He was just silent. But that was all him being camera shy. So I was just really confused in that whole visit. I just didn't know where he was coming from.
I get nervous when girls want me to hold their hand.
It could lead to like marriage or something.
Yeah, I know, right?
You might reach for
you might have to
I'll
go on
hold
a
Jennifer's
second
hand,
date.
no doubt. But any other girl, no.
Oh, yay.
You got that, Jennifer.
Does this mean I have to see you again?
I know, right?
All right, Jen, thanks for calling in.
Bye, Jen.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hello?
Hello,
Do we
this
have
is
a
Byron.
I could pretend.
All right, we're going to put someone else through.
Byron,
Caller,
what do you mean you want to cheat on me?
You're on the line. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, I'm Tiara. I'm from Jersey.
What up, TR?
Oh, East Coast.
Hey, I have a question for Leroy.
What's your question?
I just want to know what is he doing now that we're Las Vegas is not on anymore? Like, is he still a trash man, or what is he doing right now?
What am I doing? I'm doing absolutely nothing. I got fired from my job for drinking and driving. No, I'm just playing. No. I actually just moved out to L.A. I'm in L.A. now. I'm not a trash man anymore. I don't want to say I quit. I kind of took a leave of absence. I'm trying to get on out here. Actually, I might be getting a job as a trash man out in Las Vegas. Yeah.
All for bigger plans.
Yeah.
Which y'all
And
gotta
in
stay
Vegas,
tuned.
are you allowed to drink and collect trash at the same time?
No, I definitely don't drink and drive. So,
I just want to say I love you so much, and I think you're the realest person I was ever on the real world.
oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're so real. I love you so much.
I love you too. That kind of got me blushing. Caught me off guard. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, what am I
Are you
doing?
gonna hold her hand, Joe?
Yes. What is your name?
Yes, my name is Striar.
When you first called in, I thought you was my sister. I was like, "What's up, sis? I ain't talked to you in a minute."
No.
Do you follow me? Do you follow me on Twitter?
Okay.
Do you follow me on Twitter?
Yes, I do follow you on Twitter. But
See, you don't follow me because you'll be knowing what I've been doing in these past couple months.
Ooh.
I do follow you. I'm to you.
I appreciate you calling in, though.
Tierra,
Thank you.
Okay, then.
I literally forgot what I've been doing since after I did the show.
You're
Another
Batman.
caller.
He pulls up in his car with
Caller,
the dark
you're on
tinted
the line.
windows.
What's your name? Where are you from?
It's the same. It's the creepy. Hi,
He
guys.
just wants to hear Alex talk. All right, caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where are you from?
Yo, it's that boy Duo.
Oh, you have a really smooth voice.
Oh, he has.
He calls in a lot.
Yo,
All right, Duo.
Duo.
You got a question for Alex?
Sex phone operator.
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to say, what's up, Leroy?
What's poppin', man? I appreciate the upper chest workout.
And what's up, Alex?
What's going on, Duo?
First, I'd like to say, Alex, I really appreciate you for just being real, being a real black girl on the show.
That's nice to hear because a lot of people are mad because they say there are no black people on the show. I'm like, I grew up in Zimbabwe.
And that is my question. That is my question.
Yes, it is.
Did you want were you hoping for there to be a black guy on the show?
Oh, yeah.
I know
Leroy, where were you?
I don't know. I'm being Nato, baby.
Hey, I'm just saying it like this. I mean, Leroy has possibly been the realest dude, to ever hit a real world cast.
Mm-hmm.
The realest dude. Everybody can agree.
Damn.
But I watched this
Your
show.
head's getting big. Just kidding.
I see Zach. I see guys like Zach walking around with their hair pinned back, with makeup bags and facial cream, talking about manly this and manly that. Everybody's so fake. I mean, come on. Did you ever wish that there was actually a black guy on the show? I mean, just be real. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Or a black girl.
Yeah, of course. Or just, honestly, the more real people, the better. So if that means that you gotta be black to be real, I don't know. But but yeah, I do wish that we had someone.
Jess.
I do wish we had someone like Leroy on the show. Leroy's real.
You crying,
I thought,
man.
Yeah,
I watched last
things,
season.
dude.
I watched last
understand
season too, and I really
why
appreciated how
MTV
real he
did
was.
that. I don't understand why MTV cast it. I mean, Alex, you're black. I'm assuming, like full black, right?
I'm half.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you not love me anymore?
Okay.
I'm playing.
He's like, all right, peace out. I'm gone. I'm out.
No, real talk.
I'll call
I'm
you
half,
next
but
week.
look,
I
I
mean,
grew.
it's just like, I don't understand what MTV was doing. I mean, they casted, to me, this is how I look at it. They casted the whole cast full of, you know what I'm saying, light-skinned people. More people that were closer to being white than just really dark-skinned people. That's just my take on it.
Priscilla's
That's
Mexican.
my take. I mean, take it or leave it. I mean, hey.
But you know what? Like, white America is really what watches MTV.
Yeah, a lot of little girls love Zach. 12-year-olds.
But so what, though? But so what? This is 2011.
They can't. Hey man, they can't put 7 of me on there, man. It'd be bad.
hold
They
on.
wouldn't even see. You see why they ain't had none of my phone calls because they was
Well,
all
Duo, I think
blurred out.
Vegas would have been pregnant.
Come on, man.
Duo, I think that
You gotta learn
maybe
to stop treating black people like this.
maybe
man.
it's not
This is
that
some
you want.
bullshit.
Maybe it's not that you want more black people on the show, but you just want more real people who've been through a lot of shit. You
I
know,
want both.
both.
Wait, Duo, are you the one who asked Fancy why she was so whitewashed? Is that you?
Yeah, Fancy
okay.
is very whitewashed.
Just making sure I got the right person.
Duo is our
Duo, I like your opinion.
controversial caller.
Hey, Duo, you ever thought about trying out for the show?
Yeah.
Man, I honestly, I don't understand. Like, I don't know how you hear about the casting because I was just talking about it in the stream. I mean, I never just hear about the casting. I would love to try out for the show.
How old are you now?
I'm 21.
Oh, you should try out. Go to I think it's BMP casting.
They're having a casting for it right now, man. I'm pretty sure they would love to hear what you're saying.
Oh,
yeah. Follow Buna Murray on Twitter.
Just go to mtv.com and see if she was just at a casting call today in LA. What city or state do you live in?
I think LA, right?
No, Duo. You live where?
Cali.
What part?
Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah, they just had one out here.
But, I submit my application online. I didn't go to an open casting call. So you can go online. They have applications you can fill out right there where you just, send a picture, a little paragraph about yourself, and they'll get back at you if they want you.
Man, they might not cast me. I think I'm a little bit too black.
Why not try? Why not try?
I think you should try. And
I'll try.
Do it.
Anyone else listening out there, make sure you guys...
I just don't think I'm light enough.
Just don't drop no M-bombs in your interviews. You'll be straight.
Oh, I won't. But I mean, still. I mean.
All right, Duo.
Who knows?
We appreciate you calling in.
Out.
All
Bye.
Right, bye. All right, so before we wrap things up here.
Kills me. Duo shows me no love because I'm white.
He was like, so I'm sure you are way black. She's like, I'm not half. She's like, no, I'm half black. He was like, oh.
He was like, I'm going to go now. I don't love you anymore.
Well, Leroy was the realest person.
Yeah, he calls in and says, hi, Leroy. Hi, Alex. Hi, Fancy. I never get a shout out.
Duo, man, I'm gonna check him. I'm gonna have to check him on that, man.
Because Duo, you want real Roxy Striar. This is one of AfterBuzz's.
No, I'm whitewashed.
See, I think they will actually probably like him because he's very opinionated.
Yeah,
anything that I put on my Facebook, he'll check me on it like, hey man, you know what, you need to do this, and that. And for me, I appreciate Duo and his opinionated self. Appreciate you, bro.
So Alex, before we get into what you're doing now, I know you were saying, going back to actually Jennifer's question, that you understand that, it kind of came off whiny. However, you were kind of saying to me that a lot of the issues that MTV played out were deeper than what we actually saw. So just so that other people can hear that side of the story.
I mean, especially in our last conversation that we had out on the balcony, there were a lot of bigger issues in our relationship and a lot of tension over some huge things that I was kind of taking him out on him in small ways. I don't, even need to go into detail about it, but we had a lot of differences and a lot of problems that weren't as, skin deep as hand holding or drinking wine. And that's where a lot of the frustration and a lot of our, kind of darker conversations stemmed from. Yeah. Yeah. And in a way, I appreciate that they didn't necessarily show all that because, it's not so bad that the only thing you see us fighting over is hand holding and drinking wine. It's not
sticky hands.
Are y'all still together? Are you and Byron still together now? Pretty sure people want to know.
I don't know. I don't know if I can say.
Oh.
Actually,
she might have found that sexy guy.
No, I'm trying to find out because I was about to see if I can call you.
You can call me anytime.
All right.
We can be friends.
We got AfterBuzz TV exclusives right here. Well, so Alex, what do you have going on right now? I just want to say, I know I already complimented you on it, but I want to say here publicly, your music was awesome. Like, you had these guys come over to the house and it just seemed like you play the drums, boop, 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 boop. You played whatever the other instrument was, and you just started singing.
I didn't realize I knew what I was doing. It looks like I did.
Are you serious?
All of a sudden you're making music.
Yeah. I would have bought that off iTunes.
Wait,
thank you.
Am I allowed to ask you for a little exclusive? A little singing thing?
Can we get a little?
Oh, give me something.
What song?
What's your favorite song right now?
Let me think.
Oh, my goodness. You're so good. I gotta hear.
What artist inspired you to be a singer?
Well, what's funny is I grew up in a village in Zimbabwe. Like, we didn't have electricity, we didn't have running water, we didn't, have radios or TV or anything. So I grew up just listening to a lot of traditional Zimbabwean music. And I think that's why there's a lot of chanty stuff in all my songs. It sounds to me kind of like a Zimbabwean choir. And then other than that, when we moved to the States, all I heard was like my mom's classic rock. And, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Fleetwood Mac, that sort of stuff. So that's what I grew up listening to, and that's kind of what I aim to write about. I like it when music talks about issues and, gives positive messages to young people, but in a way where it's not boring for them. Nobody wants to be lectured about stuff, but I think that when you can put it in song form and make the melodies catchy enough, people will still listen to it.
Tell them how you about to go stay on, what is it, Skid Row?
Mm-hmm.
She's about to do that.
I'm going to the first stop is my band and I are going to spend the night out on Skid Row in Los Angeles, which is where a lot of homeless people sleep. And we're going to stay there.
Some balls, 'cause I can't even drive down there with the windows
I used to be
Scary as
homeless.
hell.
I was homeless with my mom and sister for a while.
Really?
And then on top of that, I just grew up in a village with very little. So for me, sleeping on the street's not a big deal. And as far as homeless people go, you know, a lot of them maybe are scary, but a lot of them have great stories to tell and are genuinely kind people who've just been through a lot of crap.
Right on.
So I'm working on a documentary now where I tour around the country with my band, and we are going to spend the night at different homeless shelters or on Skid Row in different cities. And we basically just play our music for people and try to find other homeless musicians to play with and showcase their music and their stories and kind of just, you know, let people who maybe don't always have a chance to share their stories like we do on TV.
Don't be
every
out
day,
there trying to
you
record
know?
no bum fights and nothing like that.
No, I mean,
you ever see that?
oh God, that's horrible.
That's awesome. No, that's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Not the bum
Yeah.
fights. That's not amazing.
That's what Leroy's going to be following doing his documentary.
And that's like my passion even more than music. Like I love music and I love performing, but even more than that, I've always just loved helping people. And that's why I'm friends with Frank, because I love to help people. I love to be there for people when they need it.
Yeah.
So I think it'll just be a great way to help people and to do music, which is kind of my second love.
So when did you say you were going to start this tour?
We're going to be sleeping out in Skid Row in Los Angeles in a couple of weeks. And then from there, we just have to save up enough money for gas so that we can travel around the country. Because the rest is we're just going to, you know, like eat at the homeless shelters where everyone else eats. And we're going to just try to live like people who are homeless live. If they're digging through the trash, we're going to dig through the trash with them.
We got to find a way to get people to donate.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Do you have a website or anything?
I mean, right now the best way to reach me is just on Twitter or on Facebook. But I'm gonna set up a real. This is a really new idea that I'm working on. So
What's your Twitter handle?
It's Alex Govere, AlexGovere. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm about to follow your ass.
Yeah, other than that, like, have you been performing out here in the LA area? Like, can people catch you anywhere?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of open mics, and I'll just announce them on my Twitter whenever I do them. And then I'm always uploading new music to my YouTube, which is youtube.com/Alexandra Govere. And you can find a link on my Twitter, too.
You got to give us a preview. You got to do it.
Roxy,
you should go to my YouTube.
There we go. Everyone
I need a beat.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
I would say I'd sing first, but you don't want to hear that.
Well, no, I think
Send you
we
to the
need
hospital.
Roxy to give us a beat. Leroy will spit, and then
we need you to freestyle. You're the black one.
Oh, yeah,
Y'all heard me trying to spit on Rivals. I'm horrible, man.
We don't want to hear Leroy spit.
Yeah. That's the
If I ever come here again, I'll bring a
Only thing I
guitar
can
and
do is
I'll just
recite.
play live.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell
Definitely
yeah.
should.
Oh, my God. That could be our special segment.
So any last things before we leave that you want to promote? Or one last time go over where we can reach you and.
Oh, yeah. You can reach me on Twitter at twitter.com/AlexGovere. That's AlexGovere. And on youtube.com/Alexandra Govere. And you can find all the songs I sing on the show there and other songs that I'm working on. And I'm updating it maybe like twice a week. And I'm also doing recaps of all the episodes in song form. So after every episode, I write a song about it and everything that happened. So you can listen and laugh. Most of them are really silly.
Do you do that right after the show?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
so I post one for the episode that happened. Like tonight's episode, I'll post the song tomorrow.
Very cool.
the most accomplished person that ever done the real world.
Yeah.
Right on.
Seriously.
For real. That's
We
what they said in their bio, too.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's weird because I don't really talk to people about my accomplishments, and I didn't even really talk to my roommates about it. They kind of found stuff out about me just by Googling me, because I feel like you just got to meet people and be you and be real and let them be friends with you because they like you and not because of like some silly bio that just says you're more awesome than you are. Clearly, I'm not that awesome. I fight with my boyfriend over little stupid things like
awesome.
everyone else
We
does.
love you.
I think you're
know?
freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
You blew me away with your story right now.
Yeah.
Now, so are we going to see that Alex on this show?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't honestly. This season there were a lot of real conversations had, but one thing I'm sad about is that not everyone really did want to sit down and talk about their lives and stuff. So it's not like I had the opportunity to share all of myself with everyone, but I did have some really good conversations with Frank, and I think some with Priscilla as well. And I don't know if you'll see it or not. And I don't mind if you do or don't see it. You know, this is, to me, a show for entertainment. And you take it for what it is. And it's, you know, and it's fun to watch. And you do learn a few lessons. But if someone really wants to get to know me, they can talk to me or tweet me or, you know, there are always ways to get to know someone outside of the show. Or call me. Or
take you dinner. Would you do the show again?
I need duo calling it.
Would you do it again? Would you do it all over again?
Yeah, I do it again. I grew so much. I was really, really shy in the beginning. I'm talking so much now. I was not that talkative. Yeah. I was really uncomfortable around people I didn't know. More because I was timid. I felt like I was interrupting their fun. Like if two people were talking, I wouldn't go up to them because I felt like I'd be interrupting. And at some points, I was even too shy to like order food from a waitress when I was a little girl. My mom would be like, order. I'd be like, no, you do it for me. So I really needed this to kind of come out of my shell. And even as a musician, I never performed in my life, never sung outside of like my living room. I wouldn't even sing for my mom. So it was huge for me to come, and I didn't even really want to sing, but my roommates really encouraged me and helped me.
Yeah, you have an amazing
I was really
voice.
shy.
You do.
So the real world has truly changed your life.
It really changed my life.
Learn, change, grow.
And not in like a, oh my God, I was on reality TV. Now I'm such a big deal. Because no, I don't feel like that at all. But I feel like I had a lot of growing up to do, you know, in that I had to come out of my shell, and this did it for me. And then on top of that, watching the show helps you too, because I am watching now and being like, wow, maybe I am a nag to boys sometimes. Maybe I should back off on that front and be a little more laid back, because I'm so laid back in my normal life, but for some reason in relationships, I get so invested that I get stupid sometimes. So it's cool watching yourself and learning.
Look at Leroy and Naomi. Aww.
She's just Alex from the block. Well, all right. So before we wrap up, we want to thank you so much, Alex, for coming in.
Thank
Leroy,
you guys.
do you have anything going on this week you want to promote?
This week, yes, I am on the new Battlefield series called The Controller. It will be out this Friday at 11 a.m. For all you video game fans, you're going to see me try to compete to win $50,000. I'm actually going to San Angelo, Texas to do a charity event. What else do I got going on?
Just being good looking in general.
I see. All right, now. Okay, you heard what she said, America. She think I look good. But that's pretty much about it right now that I could think of. Rough day, man. This LA traffic really had me mad today.
Oh, yeah. Always, every day.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we thank you for coming.
Wait, what about Roxy? She's not doing anything cool.
Roxy ain't doing nothing cool.
I'm not doing it.
She's not black, so
Roxy
she's not
does
here.
enough of these shows.
He knows where I will be every single day this week, and that's right here. So.
You guys can actually follow Roxy at...
On Twitter?
Yeah.
Roxy Striar. ROXYSTRIAR.
Roxy's
In
such
Twitter
a sexy
or
name.
in the park.
Leroy, isn't Roxy a sexy name?
I like
feel like
it.
if you met a woman, she's like, I'm Roxy.
I get a lot of no,
You
really.
know what
what's your
Leroy
name?
is? Leroy is an old man name.
It is.
That's why I go by Leroy Lee. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we want to thank you for coming in, Alex. We hope you'll come join us again.
I'd love to.
We got to get Frank on next. I seen Frank today.
Yeah.
And I said, we want you in the studio, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be here.
Yeah, we're definitely getting Frank in.
Next time I come, I'll bring music. I'll play.
You got it.
You need to bring that guitar.
I'll write a song about Leroy.
Yes, yes. Come prepared with a song about Leroy, and then Leroy will work very hard on a rap about you.
You see me try to put a guitar in one of the episodes, like met a girl in Vegas. It was more than one.
All right, guys. So until next week, we'll check you out. Peace.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janedy, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Bye.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.